situated here. I got both of them going, I think. Yep, it looks like I'm live on both my Instagram and my Facebook. Hey guys, another edition of Chalking with Baby Cakes. And it is Thursday night. I'm actually doing it on the right night. So you guys on Instagram can actually see the backdrop, and I didn't get zoomed in right, but that's okay. I mean, technical difficulties, it'll be all good, right? Oh, I was going to try to get it pulled up on my laptop over here, but I got the blue screen of death. How many of you have had the blue screen of death on your computers? I love them. Not really. So anyways, well, it looks like Cheyenne, my little girl, is waving at me on Instagram. So hi, sweetheart. Thank you for popping in. All right, so let's get started. It's a Thursday edition of Chalking with Baby Cakes, and I'm actually going live on a Thursday. It's been a hot minute since I've done that, and so I wanted to go ahead and come on here and show you what I'm doing. Tonight, we are going to be doing something a little bit different, but it's still going to have some chalking in it. I have got a picture frame that I have refurbished, per se. So I bought this picture frame from a little thrift store, and it had an awful picture in it, and the frame was kind of yucky looking, so I went ahead and refurbished it, and then we're going to chalk on the mat of it. So what I wanted to do is kind of explain to you the process that I used to do this. So here's and I haven't cleaned the glass off yet, so as you see, you can hardly see me, right, because it's so dirty and disgusting. So there's that. I'm going to clean it before I put it on. I promise. All right. There's that. I'm going to put it down here for safekeeping. And then this is the frame portion of it. This was so the back of it, you can see it's kind of all dirty and yucky. And that's kind of the color the front was. So what I did is I just used some paint. And I honestly, I like for the picture frames, I like to use this Rust-Oleum chopped chalk paint. It's a spray paint, and it works fabulously for me. I haven't had an issue with it. I'll use this type of chalk paint, and then I will go ahead and seal it with this. I'll seal the frame with this matte sealer. It's also, again, Rust-Oleum. It's a matte one. It's not the glossy, it's a matte. So I will go ahead and seal it with this. Now, so you got this. I'm just going to put that back there. And then this was the picture that was inside of it. It's a beautiful black picture, isn't it? I love it. So what I did is I took the picture and I just used the charcoal. And I will use browns, grays, blues, whatever color I feel like that I want to mix and match to make my pictures. I've made several different color pictures, but my favorites have always been like the white frame with the black. Now, I don't know if you can tell, there's a little bit of sparkle on here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there is a little bit of sparkle on there. So what I did, I love my glitter, so I use this little glitter stuff, just the Rust-Oleum glitter. I love the spray paint. It makes it super easy to get it on there, and it dries quickly. I have a little paint room outside, which I was gonna try to show you guys it, but it's a tad bit cold outside right now. It's like 20 degrees or something like that. There's a storm blowing in. It's gonna be really disgusting tonight and into tomorrow. So I just chose not to do it. But on another day, when it's a little bit warmer, I will show you my hot tub room, which has turned into my paint room. So the story behind the hot tub room is when we moved into the house, they had a room that was they have ready for a hot tub. I'm not a hot tub kind of person. Let me know, are you a hot tub kind of person? Do you like to get in the hot tubs? I don't. Sorry. It's just not me. I guess it's because I can't sit still for too long. And if I'm in a hot tub, I'm sitting still, right? I just don't do that. I don't know how I float in the lake, because I'm sitting still when I'm floating in the lake. But anyways, so it's all like, they've got like this divot in there and everything, so you can put a hot tub in there. And right now it stores all my palettes. It stores different paints. I've got some sawhorses in there with a pellet on top of it that I use to spray paint everything. So one of these days when it's warmer out, I will take you on a little tour of my area there. So now we're going to get to the actual chalking. So I showed you what I did. This is what I do with my frames. Now sometimes with the frames I'll scuff them up a little bit before I seal them. It just depends on what look I'm going for and what design I'm going to put on them. And honestly, I'm going to be straight up honest with you. I never know what design I'm going to put on the frame until I'm done with the frame. So, or what I'm going to use that picture frame for. So this one, because I put the sparkles on it, I have this cute little saying. It's on the day you were born, the angels clapped their hands and the moon danced with the stars. So I'm going to use this on this guy because I put little sparkles on it and I figured that would be absolutely adorable. Now obviously this is the first time I have used this stencil, so I will have to fuzz it. Just throw that down there. Well, it's not that sticky, so I should be okay. Alright. And I do have my water bath back here. I already have my colors picked out. I have this is fresh linen. And then I think there's a grige, and I'm probably saying it wrong because, you know, I don't know. If it's not a normal name, I normally butcher it. That's just the way I am. White, and then a buttermilk for a yellow. So those are the colors I will be using. Now, when you are using a stencil for one of the first times, you're going to want to fuzz it just to make sure that it comes up a lot easier than if you don't. So fuzzing it, all that means is taking and getting a little bit of fuzz on it. So I've got this little neck towel that I have, or actually, let me take this off. Sometimes when I'm at Chalk and Talks, I will sit there and just walk around with a stencil on my shirt, and everybody will kind of laugh at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, it's the new style, don't you know? Wearing stencils on your shirt. All right. So, got that. Let me flip it around. And then I'm going to go ahead and get it centered up on this. All right. And I bet you can't guess, this is going to be for sale when I'm all done. So I will put a finished picture in the comments as well as the price. I'll have to, of course, clean the glass off because that was pretty disgusting. So what you're going to want to do when you put your stencil down is you need to take your little squeegee and you want to get all the air bubbles out of where the silkscreen portion is. Because if you don't, there is a potential that your paste will, what's the word I'm looking for? It'll bleed through. So you want to make sure you have a good seal on this. The other thing I did, I forgot to tell you a step that I did with this. So I did seal the picture frame portion. I did seal it with a wax sealer just to help keep it nice and pretty for when I do this. I did let the wax sealer dry for, well, it's been a couple days since I've done it. So, but you need to if you're going to wax any of your surfaces, you need to let them dry or seal and cure for at least 24 hours before you chalk on them. If you don't do that, when you pull up your surface, when you pull up your stencil, it could pull the stuff up with it. And I have a video that happened on a couple weeks ago that I posted, or a couple days ago that I posted. So if you're ever curious of what happens, it turned out awful. I've got all that wiped off of there, and I'm going to do something different on it. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to do something different. So I'm going to start, and so I'm going to do multiple colors on this. And my paste is a little bit dry for my liking. So I just squirt some water in it. Now you're going to want to use distilled water to make sure you don't get any mold or contamination in here. So that's a big thing too. So all my pastes are a little bit dry, so I'm going to get them all, a little bit of water in all of them, and get them stirred up really yummy, because you want them a yogurt-like consistency. So whenever your pastes do look dry, you can go ahead and squirt some of that distilled water in there get them all stirred up so they're nice and yummy looking, and will go on your stencil really well. All right. There we go. So I don't know where the weather is like where you guys are, but it's flipping cold here right now. And we are fixing to, I think about 2 o'clock in the morning, it's supposed to hit us. We are going to get hit with some nice icing and everything. So tomorrow might be a snow day for me. I may not be driving to work because I do drive an hour to work every day. And I don't know if I want to drive an hour to work if the roads are kind of yucky. So if you would be so inclined, while you're watching me, share my video out with some of your friends. I would love to have them join me and watch and see what this chalking thing is all about. All right, so I am doing multiple colors on here. So I wanted to do the angel in white, so I did that real quick. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the peel method. So I did a little bit of chalking, and then I'm going to peel this portion of it up. So this way the chalk paste doesn't dry on there. You do not want the chalk paste to dry before you pull the stencil up, because if it does, then all of the paste will come up with the stencil, and it won't stay down on your surface, and you don't want that. All right, so the rest of it I'm going to do in this lighter gray color, which is the Grige, which I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. So honestly, all you have to do with this is you don't have to be precise when you're doing your chalking. You just have to kind of slap it on there. And I mean, you can see, I just kind of slapped a bunch of pieces on there. And now I'm just gonna pull this down, do a little squeegeeing. I'll get a little bit more precise when I'm in the areas that I'm going to do different colors, because I don't want this color, this gray color, where all my other colors are going to be. So if you look, with just that little bit that I flopped on there, see how quickly that's, and look at just how much it's covering. And you'll just want to pull it all the way down and get as much of it used up, because whatever's left over, you're going to go ahead and you're going to put it right back into your little tub. So I didn't actually think this was going to do all of it. So this is going to be interesting since I'm doing different colors, because I'm going to do the moon and the stars in the buttermilk color. But I'm going to use a different tool to do that. All right, so you see I have a little bit left over. I'm going to throw it in here. Okay, and then I'm going to start lifting this up, because remember what I said, I don't want it to dry. So I'm going to start lifting this up. Like I said, this is going to be interesting because I wasn't expecting that to take all of that. So now I'm just going to kind of gently lay it back down on there for those stars, and then I'm going to lift up from this edge, if I can get a hold of it. That's always a fun part too. So I'm going to gently lift up from this edge, and I can see where I didn't get that smoothed down all the way because I have some bleed throughs. But to be completely honest, sometimes I enjoy those bleed throughs. Sometimes I like the fact that it's not 100% perfect, because that's what makes your design unique and uniquely yours. If it was perfect, it's store-bought, right? So I like to make my stuff a little bit imperfect. It has a little bit of character. You know, it's made with love. It's made from the heart, and it's not a store-bought, mass-produced thing. Because I guess you could mass-produce mistakes, but it's just not as much fun. All right. And this is my multi-tool that I'm using. And it's just a great way to get into those smaller spaces that you don't want to use a big squeegee for. I could have used one of the smaller squeegees. I've cut squeegees in half to do this as well. And also to do this bigger area, there was a bigger squeegee that I've got that I could have used on it. But since I was doing separate colors, I didn't really want to use that either. So, well, I guess it's the time of, almost the time of reveal here. Oh, it did. I'll get that. So, one thing you always want to be careful of is you really don't want that to happen, because it makes it more difficult to get it pulled apart, and because you don't want it to ruin this stencil. But fortunately I did get it pulled apart. I love this thing. Have you ever seen these little neck towel things? They're fantastic. All right, I have a comment, I think. Nope, I don't. All right, want to make sure. I don't know. Oh, I do have a comment. Hi, Linda. Thanks for checking in. I'm so excited you're watching. I can't see. My phone's too far away, and my eyeballs are getting old. All right. So I know this is going to be backwards because of the way I have my my phones facing. I don't know if you heard me before on one of my other lives. I like to have, it's a little weird, I like to have my phones facing me. My phone and my tablet is what I actually have right now. I like to have them facing me so it looks like I'm talking to somebody, and it just makes it so much easier for me to go ahead and act like I know what I'm talking about. So anyways, so that's why that's there. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. And like I said, once I get that piece of glass all cleaned up, I'm going to get it all put back together, and I will show you what it looks like. It will be for sale, so I will have comments, picture in the comments, as well as the price and a shipping cost. It will also be up for sale on my website, so there's all that. One thing I wanted to get with you guys real quick is I am starting to book February classes. So I only have a few February classes out there. We have a wedding to go to, which I'm thoroughly excited about. So I don't have as many classes available in February as I did in January. So book them now. Come the end of January, I'm not going to book February classes. I will have a cutoff date that I will put out on the Facebook as well as on my website to let you know when that cutoff date is. Because of all we got going on, I got to make sure that I get you prepared for your class and make sure we're good. So I don't want to do that willy-nilly and really slow. I want to make sure I get all that stuff out there. After February, I'll be booking for April. I will not be booking anything in March. I have some other commitments going on, so March is going to be off the table. So in February, I'm going to start booking for April, and I will have a cutoff date for those too. So if you're looking at booking a class, you need to go ahead and get with me and get that scheduled real quick. The dates go quickly, and I am going to do cutoffs. And if you don't get in on the cutoff time, I might not have something available for you until later on. So anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in again. I thoroughly enjoy talking with you on Thursday nights. Hopefully I will be able to continue this on, and like I said before, if you have any ideas of what you want me to do live, I would love to have your comments, your ideas. Show me your love, show me what you got, give me a thumbs up, and yeah, all the good things, right? All right, you guys, have a happy Thursday. Bye-bye.